Da 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 dun. Da 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 dun. Hello once again, watchers of Good TV. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my college dorm room. Now today I'm going to be talking about the show which finished last Sunday from the recording of this video, and it's called Galavant. This is the first musical which has been on television, to my knowledge, an episodic musical since Smash, and that was more drama than musical, if anything. So, did it succeed? Let's find out. Joshua Sass plays Galavant. He is this hero, the stereotypical hero, who is supposed to save people. He has his true love, Madalena, who we'll get to in a moment. And the story goes more or less like he is his hero, his true love gets kidnapped, he goes to save her, she decides to stay with the king instead, and so he becomes really depressed about that until he's recruited to save the kingdom of Valencia, which is actually being conquered by that said king. And so he's excited to go and save people again, apparently. So, that's more or less the plot of the show. It's covered in the pilot. It's only 8 episodes for this season, which is good. But Joshua Sass, I don't know if that's how I say your last name, I don't know. But he does a very good job in the role. He's funny, he's comedic, he does a very good English accent, in my opinion. I'm not English, so I don't know if that's true or not. But in my opinion, it was good. His singing voice is very, very good and on par. I thought he did a really nice job in the role. Timothy Almondson, he plays King Richard. He is the antagonist of the show. I say antagonist in quotes because he is kind of a laughable antagonist in that he is a goofball. He does not exert the same authority as the stereotypical king villain figure would. He's not just off with your head and kill everyone in sight type of personality. He's very human in a lot of respects. He spends most of the show trying to woo the woman that he kidnapped, who is also Galavant's true love, Madalena. And she is played by Mallory Jensen. Both these characters do fantastic in their roles. They play off each other really, really well. It's really interesting to see Galavant break stereotypes in this way. The regular way a story like this goes is that the damsel in distress who is taken is scared and frightened and they want to be saved by their rescuer. Madalena is very different. She just wants power, and she is now in possession of it, so she's not going to go back with Galavant. But she is also not going to succumb to King Richard because she does not see him as a powerful figure. So it's a very interesting way to do a show like this, and it's just one of the ways that the show decides to break the norms. All these actors do fantastic in the roles in terms of singing capabilities, and I was really happy with it. Timothy Almondson, he steals the show in a lot of the ways. His character is kind of the one that changes throughout the majority of the show, and a lot of these characters do have character development in them, Galavant and Richard being kind of the two standouts in this category. But I think King Richard kind of develops a little bit more in ways that I won't get into here. And then lastly, for the main characters, Karen David plays Isabella. She is Princess of Valencia, and she is the person who recruits Galavant to come out of his drunken, depressed stupor and try to rescue her people. And so she is a character who we see for a lot of the show. She is one of the two really strong female characters. Her and Madalena really have this presence about them, which shows that they can stand on their own 2 feet and handle themselves perfectly fine. And so it's really kind of cool to see that in a show where normally this is not the case. That being said, she is the only character who seems to digress in terms of character development as the show goes on. It's kind of unfortunate because she starts out as this really strong character who is imposing and is training Galavant in one scene, and then she kind of falls more into that damsel in distress type of personality towards the end of the season. So it's kind of an unfortunate way for the show to go. One thing that the show has, which is very important for a musical, is that it has great music. Alan Menken, he does a phenomenal job with the music. He is the composer. He has done things like Aladdin, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. He is just a fantastic composer. He brings all his charm into this show, and almost all of his songs are very memorable and things that I'm not listening to fairly regularly. That being said, there are some songs here and there that fall flat that just aren't as good as some of the other ones, and that's just bound to happen with any musical type of format. but for the most part, he does a really nice job. The show is also very, very humorous. I found myself laughing a lot of the times at the situations and the jokes which are brought into this show by the characters. It was promoted as a comedy extravaganza. It definitely delivers on the comedy. Timothy Amundsen and Vinnie Jones is also in the show. They play off each other extremely well, in my opinion. And they're easily the high points of the show in terms of comedy because their chemistry is just flawless, in my opinion. There's a little bit too much filler in the show, in my opinion. There's just a little too much, I think, that derives and departs from the central plot. Every episode technically builds to the finale, but the pit stops along the way don't always seem necessary or required. It is nice to see it because sometimes we see different character development, but there are certain parts where it's really not necessary. One thing that I did really like about this show, which I was not expecting, is that it is not simply contained to these 8 episodes with just a small cliffhanger at the end to allude to a possible second season. It does not end the main plot in the finale, which is really, really cool. And like I said, not something I was expecting. I thought this was just going to be 8 episodes, just a set contained miniseries, start to finish. Just call it good after 3 hours worth of watching. No 4 hours worth of watching. It keeps going, and it brings about a very interesting situation for season 2. I won't talk about it here, but I really did like that aspect of it, and I'm excited to see what they do with season 2, presuming that they get renewed for a second season. I have no idea how the show did in terms of viewership. It could have done terribly, it could have done great, I don't know. But it was a show that I did enjoy. I'm basically a lover of musicals, so I do like a large majority of this type of music. So I might be a little bit biased, but I thought that the show did a very nice job in what it was trying to do and what it was supposed to do. So, in my opinion, it succeeded. So those are my thoughts on Galavant. Let me know what yours are in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, for a comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you so choose, I appreciate it immensely. And as always, my people, my name is Nick Pell. And once again, keep on watching.